Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pikmin 2. In the last episode, we finished a cave. I don't remember what it was called, but here we are in a second cave, the White Flower Garden. A totally different layout from the last cave. We are in some sort of flower pot or something? The big difference being that there is a pit, and yes, you can throw your Pikmin off the sides and into the void, and they will die, and you will never see them again. I'm gonna try not to do that. I'll probably succeed in this cave. Can't promise it'll never happen. We've been growing our purple numbers quite a bit. So we've got a nice squad of, I believe, 20? 30? 20? 20. We've got 20. Not that we're needing them all that much on this floor. Apologies for a little bit of camera spinning like that. I'll try to control it a little bit, but I do like to see what's behind me most of the time. I find that the camera controls in especially the first two Pikmin games are not the greatest. So actually right now I've got the L button held down completely, and that's probably just what I'll do most of the time. It's just a habit at this point. Hope I'm not making anybody motion sick. Where did that... I just saw it, and it's on the other side, I guess. We've got some kiwi shoe polish for 80 Pokos, the alien billboard. A lot of things could qualify as alien billboards in this game. Down we go. Again, this is an early cave. It's not going to be all that difficult. In fact, there might not even be a boss in this. Whatever, maybe I'm just not remembering, but I can't think of what the boss of this place is. Right away we've got some treasure, and we've got a new enemy. These are fiery blowhogs. They shoot fire, and will set any Pikmin that is not red on fire, unless you stun them with the purples, in which case they will do no such thing. Just an example of... No, come back please. Just an example of purples being broken again. This is supposed to be an elemental enemy, and we just don't care. That was a little bit dangerous. He was right next to the edge. They do buck Pikmin off of them. They buck forward. So I don't think I was in any danger of losing Pikmin that way. But I probably shouldn't have done that, all things considered. Again, very short floor. We've just got these guys, and we've got that diamond in the middle there, and that's pretty much it. Oh, my favorite music's playing. I was trying to be quiet to let you listen. You're not really going to be able to hear it. Something I didn't realize... Oh, Dr. Pepper for 100 Pokos. The Drought Ender. But something I didn't realize for, like, the decade or so that I've been playing this game is this game actually has dynamic music. So the music changes depending on what the Pikmin are doing. Pretty little heart crystal thing. Petrified heart for 100 Pokos. But yeah, unfortunately, the music in this game is so quiet, I just didn't notice that for my entire life, basically. I have noticed that when you switch to Louie, the music changes. This is not going to be a good time to show that off, because again, it's not very loud right now. But that's been obvious. The dynamic music has not been. So there's a standard version of each song. Then there's a version for if you're carrying treasure, close to treasure, battling enemies... and, like, some other stuff. Like, maybe carrying something that isn't treasure. It's really cool. You should look up the OST sometime. That song that was just playing was called, I believe, Graphite Gulch. And again, I didn't even discover that song until much, much, much later, because I was looking up the OST just out of curiosity. It was like I'd never heard it before, because just... I don't know. I don't think they balanced the audio properly or something. We've got... white flowers here in the White Flower Garden. How can a flower so deep underground bloom so robustly? How mysterious. This place is conspicuously warm. Could it act as a kind of hothouse for foliage? What an interesting development. The Pikmin look as if they long to be tossed into the flower. We've seen flowers growing underground like this before. Although I guess maybe this was just a question the ship didn't have until now, just didn't think of it. Just like before, These flowers will give you 5 white Pikmin. And again, I don't think this cave is particularly farmable, just like the last one. I think there is a limit. I think, again, when you have 20 of these Pikmin in your party, you can't get any more. Not 1000% sure on these, though. And here's our second new type. Absolutely adorable. Incredible! A white Pikmin! It is tiny, but it looks distinctly swift. Its eyes are an unseemly red. This type of Pikmin was not mentioned in your notes, Olimar. It must be an entirely new type. Our data record on this type is a blank page, since a certain captain never documented them. You just said they're new! You must experiment and make detailed observations for the benefit of future generations. Yeah, the ship goes back and forth on, like, Olimar being incompetent and bad at his job and he doesn't train Louis, and then like, oh, this must be new. I guess that's fine then. In the same breath almost. But anyway, the ship was saying that these Pikmin look swift, and they are. They are the fastest Pikmin. I think I guess the leaves aren't quite faster than the flowers that we already have, but they are the fastest Pikmin type, and that becomes even more apparent when they're flowers. Also, they can find buried treasure. There's something buried in the overworld right now that I might get at some point. Amazing! The white Pikmin have unearthed a treasure that was completely buried in the ground. Perhaps those beady red eyes of theirs allowed them to sense object buried in the dirt. Well, one way or another they certainly can. Who knows if it's their eyes. Once the object is unburied a certain amount, anyone can help with the process. In fact, I'm pretty sure more Pikmin can help unbury an object. Dig up an object than they can carry it. Ooh. Alright, everybody come here. Oh, boo. I'm pretty sure that got... Yeah, these guys don't run away forever. I'll be back. Ugh. If you're new here, now's probably a good time to mention that I have problems with depth perception. If you're not new, you've heard me say that before, and I'm sorry you have to hear me say it again. But yeah, this is gonna be a little tough for me. There we go. I try to go by the shadow. Oh! Oh, okay. There is a glitch in this game that I'm going to be mercilessly abusing. Because who has time to gather potions all day? If you... Oh, let's get a cutscene first. The red liquid you see contains refined ultra-spicy essence. 1 drop contains 1 dose. Press down on the D-pad to spray this extract on your entire group. I'm guessing you can't have this happen unless you already have a potion. Alright, if you take a oh, oops. That's actually not what I meant to do. If you take a captain and get really close to a drop of potion, push the captain into it, and then you gather it, you get 2 of them. And yes, this is glitch abuse, and I am going to be doing it. I'm sorry if that bothers anybody, but if I was playing on my own, this is precisely what I'd be doing, because I find it more fun than grinding potions. So there. Games are meant to be fun, as long as you're not playing with real people where there's, like, other people that could be affected. Just play the way you want. I've always felt like that with games with, like, abusing glitches and stuff. Even with Pokemon, I don't think there's anything wrong with hacking in your own Pokemon. I wouldn't compete with them, but it's a game. Whatever helps you have the most fun with it. And we've got some masking tape, I believe. Or some sort of tape. Gamma tape. Super Stick Textile, worth 80 Pokos. That feels like something that should be worth more than 80. That seems, like, useful. For many reasons, but oh well. I'm not even sure they're eating the stuff that's edible, like the strawberry, because the strawberry is worth more than that. But who knows, maybe they are. Alright. What's next? Nice little petrified tree stump here. Aha! They had to do this at some point. New hazard? Figures that the new type of Pikmin would be able to deal with it. Lucky for us, poison does not affect captains. Must be because of the spacesuit. So I guess it's not particularly hot poison. Just poisonous poison. Or who knows, maybe it is affecting the captains, and because they're aliens, it's something that doesn't actually hurt them. Anything's possible, really. Also, when we had that little potion cutscene, and I'll remind you to look for it the next time we see one, but at least to me, it really looks and sounds like they're drinking the potions, not like collecting it and putting it in a bottle, because you can see their heads moving, and there's like that little sucking up sound. That's not a poisonous mushroom, by the way. I just happen to have my white Pikmin with me. But yeah, I am of the belief that they're drinking the potions, and I will have more proof for that later, once we start using them. Come on, guys. Get up there. Yeah, I've seen people look at this mushroom and think, oh, it's probably poisonous, I have to use my, my white Pikmin. That's not true. That said, white Pikmin do have a very good use for treasure. They carry things the fastest. And they will be slowed down if there are other types of Pikmin on an object. So it can be a good thing to have as many white Pikmin and only white Pikmin as possible carry something. On the flip side of that, purple Pikmin carry things the slowest, and they will slow things down. I guess, well, things definitely are carried faster if it's a mix of purples and other things, but the reason to use purples to carry something over somebody else would be if you just toss like a purple on something and then let it go back to base while you're doing something else. Toxic Toadstool, 30 coins. So it really just all depends on like the situation you're in and what makes sense for the situation. There's still a treasure. Oh yeah, this thing. Probably should have just grabbed this while I saw it. In general, treasures can be carried by twice as many Pikmin as the number on the top says. Treasures and objects. It's not always going to be exactly half. Smaller objects it usually is. Bigger objects I think can be different sometimes. I might also be thinking of the first game. But you should try to get about double onto it as you think you need. To carry it faster, I should say. Chapstick for 90 Pokos. Survival Ointment. How they know what this is beyond me. Alright, let's go. The last cave was only 5 floors. I don't remember off the top of my head how many floors each cave is, but it would be nice if this one was only 5. This looks like a boss floor. Oh, this is a boss. Okay, I remember what the boss is. I'll explain once we see it. Purples are actually getting left here. This is not a good fight for purples. I'm just gonna take the reds. Something else that the game doesn't tell you until it comes up is that white Pikmin are themselves poisonous. Oh, I do want some... I'll get that stuff later. Do I need to... Yeah, I'll tell you what I was about to say in a minute. Ah, darn it, I messed that up. You're supposed to be able to swarm that thing. Come back! Come back! Darn it. It's their own fault they got eaten there. Alright, let's use a Sprite. Listen. I pressed the wrong button. Hold on a second. But listen. It made a farting sound. Come on. You can't tell me they didn't drink it. And then, like, you get the idea. There's more proof later. Astounding! The heads of the Pikmin are glowing and they seem extremely agitated. The ultra-spicy spray appears to increase Pikmin's speed and attack power. What a discovery. So yeah, this is a burrowing snagret. Snagret, I think, actually. Because it's meant to be a combination of a snake and an egret, so I think the proper pronunciation would be snagret. But yeah, this is a burrowing snagret. The reason I didn't remember this being a boss fight is because this is actually a regular enemy. I'm not fighting it particularly well or carefully. I go a little bit for brute force with these guys. There are people who can play this game and not lose any Pikmin. I'm not one of these people, so I just sort of lean into it. Ah! That was my fault. But, you know, the upside is while he's eating the Pikmin, he's distracted. I do love that sound. That little, like, caw sound. And we get a treasure that's not particularly useful, but we weren't here for treasure. We were here for white Pikmin. Well done, Captain Olimar. You've defeated that freakish half-bird, half-serpent hybrid. Oh no, don't tell me. That treasure was ingested by that beast, wasn't it? That it was. Well, we're only 15 minutes in, and we just finished this cave. So I suspect that this episode's just going to run a little bit long, and we're going to do some... Well, maybe we'll jump into a cave. I don't know. Let's see if we can get anything good from those eggs. Where are the eggs? Oh, I didn't even lose 10 Pikmin. Single-digit losses. That's what we like to see. You are going to see me be... Oh, haha, there we go. If you get these guys are called mitites or matites, I don't know how to pronounce it. But if you get them and you immediately throw a purple Pikmin, it stuns all of them, killing them instantly. If you don't, and I will try to show this off next time, 5-man knapsack for 100 Pokos. I'll explain in a second. This material looks comfortable. I will use it to patch the boss's favorite sleeping bag. Seam test conclusive. Cross-stitching successful. The knapsack is complete. When you have an unoccupied time interval, press and hold X to take a nap. It just... You lie down, the Pikmin carry you back to the ship. But, yeah, and I'll try to show this off the next time we get these guys. But if you don't immediately kill them, they do something weird to the Pikmin. And the Pikmin will just, like, run around like crazy and become uncontrollable, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm gonna go back and get all my leaves. But if you do manage to kill them... where are we? Going the wrong way. If you do manage to kill them, each one drops a drop of nectar. So they are the best way to get nectar, at least as far as I know. The very first time I played this game, the first egg I opened had those guys, and I didn't know what to do, and the Pikmin were freaking out, and I freaked out, and I'm really scared of bugs, and that was a bad experience. I assumed at that point that that's what would happen every time I opened an egg. And I just, like, didn't open eggs for a while, because I didn't realize that they're actually very rare. But, yeah, if I haven't mentioned that already, I used to be very scared of bugs, like extreme phobia. I've worked on that over the years. I'm not, like, super duper panic every time I see one now, but I don't like bugs very much. Spiders are, of course, the worst. That's not true, actually. I think bees are probably the worst. Because bees are, like, feel viscerally dangerous. I freak out if there's bees around. Alright, we lost 7 Pikmin. I can live with that. Cave complete. Let us save the game and be out of here. Back to the Awakening Wood, where we do not have a particularly large amount of time. Looking at the clock, we are actually approaching 20 minutes. I hear noises. But yeah, I think instead of... Oh, yeah, it's the first time we got to end of day. Olimar, Louis, the sun will be setting soon. Call all of the Pikmin to you. This planet's native nocturnal life forms are ferocious and therefore dangerous. Load your Pikmin into the onion and yourselves into my hull so we can take refuge in low orbit. Pikmin in your squad will enter the onion on their own at day's end, so call them all to you. What was I saying before? I think what I'm going to do is actually make this a short episode and not do another day right now. Because like I said, we're approaching 20 minutes, which is shorter than I would like for an average episode length, but long enough. So yeah, I'll just let them do that. They'll get some progress on that wall. I'm gonna let the countdown go all the way down. I'll show you the knapsack in the next day. I don't want to mess around with stuff when the countdown's going. What you can do to make something like this go faster is use a spicy spray. And if I had had a little bit more time, I would have done that, because that's a small squad of Pikmin, and I can't add any more to it. So in fact, tomorrow I think I'm gonna do that. Alright guys, come back. If Pikmin are in your squad, they're safe. If they're close to base, if they're in base, so they're close to the ship or an onion, they're also safe. Even if they're carrying something, if they're in the base area, they will be safe at the end of the day. If they are outside of base by themselves, carrying something, sitting around, doing anything, they will be left behind and they will be eaten. You do not get them back. I'm not going to show the end of day cutscene every time because it is the same all the time, but different enemies will show up in different areas. So here we've got little mini Bulborbs. If there were Pikmin to eat, there would be different enemies. Let's see today's report. Here's all the treasure we got. We've already seen that. Net gain of Pikmin, of course. How's progress, Olimar? Remember, you'll never get anything done if you sit back and watch from afar. Be sure to hold R occasionally for a close-up view of the action. I never use close-up view. Never. Excuse me. Alright, so I think I am going to end things there. I believe what I was doing is doing a regular outro and then going to the Piklopedia. So if you want to look at the new stuff, stick with me. And if not, thank you very much for watching this episode of Pikmin 2, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode where we go back to the Awakening Wood and work on that poison gate. Let's go see the Piklopedia. There should be a lot of new stuff in here because we ran through a bunch of plants. Here's the fiery blowhog. He burns the carrots up. Fiery blowhog. Blowhog family. This creature expels a volatile phosphorus compound from its snout that combusts upon contact with air. This fire-breathing ability is dependent upon the air-to-fuel ratio at its mouth, catalyst reaction within the expelled compound, and purification of the compound. Thus, it is highly unlikely such a complex process could cause the spontaneous explosion of a fallen blowhog. This process is also perhaps to avoid risk of spontaneous combustion in the belly of a live specimen. However, one should still treat a fiery blowhog with great care, even after its life functions have ceased. Female sheargrub. The carrots fall from the sky because they have to be activated to even do anything, but they can't hurt them. Sheargrub, female, mandiblard family. The males of this species are purple and black creatures with tapered mouths, while the females are lighter in color and lack an armored exoskeleton. As with most mandiblards, these creatures have regressed to the point where they have lost both legs and wings. They can be seen crawling around on the ground and are believed to feed on the vegetable extracts from the congealed fluids of expired Pikmin. Lovely. Here's the male ones. Very close-up camera angle there. And you can see these guys are just eating the carrots up. Sheargrub, male, mandiblard family. This specimen is a male sheargrub. Having lost both legs and wings, the male burrows into the soil and waits to ambush small creatures that pass by. This beast's mandibles can be dangerous, making creatures such as Pikmin easy prey. This is the Joustmite. No, it's not. It's the Burrowing Cloaknut. Excuse me, Joustmite is from the third game, Pikmin 3. Cloaking Burrownit family. The snake-eye pattern on this beast's shell is one of the most distinctive features of the Burrownit family. The red pattern of the cloaking burrownit and the spikes around its mantle make it easily identifiable while still making it a representative species of the burrownit family. The shell on the cloaking burrownit's back also provides a frame that fixes its muscular structure in place, and appears to give the creature its powerful needle-launching attack. Ugh, I hate these guys. Ugh, I don't like this. Mitites. Unknown family. These parasitic insects feed on eggs. Upon reaching maturity, they excrete a special pheromone that attracts females of particular species, enticing these females to swallow the mites whole. Pikmin, however, seem to dislike the scent. After entering the host's female body, the mitites lay their own eggs inside the host's eggs just prior to the host spawning. So that would explain why they hatch out of eggs. Ugh, I like this thing a lot better. Obviously, these guys don't attack, but I'm pretty sure you can get it to snap, like the snapshot. Violet Candypot Bud, Candypot family. Research from our most recent expedition has confirmed the presence of Candypot buds, in subterranean regions. Considering the microecologies this plant has been found in, one could surmise that it could be found in any cavern, regardless of geographic region. Tossing Pikmin into this flower results in the release of purple Pikmin seeds, regardless of the color of the Pikmin tossed in. This variety of candy pop contains robustly odoriferous oils. If candy pop flowers could be cultivated, there is no doubt that the plants would offer multifaceted benefits to the cosmetic, medical, and tourist industries. So they smell good. Very strongly, apparently. There's the white one. Ivory candy pop bud. Candy pop family. Research from our most recent expedition has confirmed the presence of candy pop buds in subterranean regions. This is the exact same thing. Okay, here we go. In many cases, plants with small leaves typically have limited photosynthetic capabilities, and thus must find alternate means of obtaining nutrients, with parasitic and predatory behavior being most common. The candy pop could be considered one such example. Although we don't really know for sure. There's the creeping chrysanthemum. There's his eyes. I love this thing. Freaked me out as a kid, but then I figured out it's not particularly dangerous. Creeping chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum family. Like Pikmin, the creeping chrysanthemum is a member of a group of creatures with ambulatory root structures. This creature is known as a mimic, but because it is actually a form of plant, this label is not entirely accurate. For unknown reasons, the creeping chrysanthemum's mimicry does not fool Pikmin. Perhaps because they share a similar heritage. It relies on preying upon other creatures to provide sustenance, and it has no needs of leaves for photosynthesis. Generally speaking, the role of plants within an ecosystem is as a producer species, and thus plants are generally found at the bottom of the food pyramid. However, on this strange planet, the line between producer plants and consumer plants is blurred. Yeah, another way you can tell that you're looking at a creeping chrysanthemum is it doesn't have the leaves. Here's honeywisps. I don't think we'll be able to do much to them. They're cute. Honeywisp family. This floating life form drifts effortlessly on the winds. Upon death, its physical structure instantly collapses, and as the creature is particularly elusive and difficult to catch, no sample specimens have been acquired as of yet. If we could simply recover a live sample, research on this species would likely proceed more smoothly. Good luck with that. We've seen that. Here we go. Common glowcap. I'm not going to show the carrots for the plants. It doesn't do anything. Common glowcap family. The light emitted from this rare mushroom is neither a reflection nor a release of stored light. It grows not only on decomposing trees, but also on soil and rocks. This mushroom's fungal filaments are capable of stabilizing and concentrating pure Hocotadium-111. It is none other than the Hocotadium-111 approaching the point of critical mass that causes the glowcap's blue luminescence. Clover family. This is a naturalized species. These plants are extremely persistent, and with the assistance of a symbiotic fungus that grows on its roots, the species is able to survive even in drought conditions. Typically, its leaves come in groupings of 3, but intense impact on the leafing stem early in the development cycle can result in an extremely rare 4-leaf cluster. Horsetail family. This variety of horsetail is prevalent in regions with low nutrient content in the soil. Unlike most other plants, this particular species propagates itself through the release of spores. I have to assume that's true in real life as well. Margaret. Chrysanthemum family. Another name for Margaret is Daisy, I think. Yeah, because I'd never heard of Margaret until adulthood. I'm pretty sure that's what most people know as a daisy. This plant's delicate yellow flowers often inspire waves of nostalgia, giving a bittersweet feeling to any who gaze upon them. Fiddlehead. Fern family. At first glance, this plant resembles the spring used in the ship's sublight engine. Many of its most primitive characteristics remain intact, including its habit of spreading through the dispersal of spores. Fiddleheads are delicious, but they're only in season like 2 weeks out of the year, and they're poisonous when they're out of season, so careful. Empress Bullblacks. I don't think we can wake her up. She's too sleepy. Empress Bullblacks, grub dog family. Initial observations place doubt on the capability of the grub dog family to support a strong ant or bee-like social structure, but recent studies show the family is capable of such complexity. The egg sac of the largest female grub dog within a given range swells to dramatic proportions in response to environmental changes, such as the sudden depletion of prey species. These females temporarily take on the role of pack matriarch. Also, in pack formation, it has been observed that nearly all males not involved in species reproduction undergo natural sex changes. The characteristics of such specimens are quite interesting indeed. Makes you wonder what was happening in the environment to produce that one that we fought. And there's the burrowing snagret. People usually say snagret, I think just because of the way it's spelled, but I've already explained my thoughts on that. Burrowing snagret, Snavian family. The majority of snagret species lie in wait to ambush and capture prey with a body type perfectly adapted to such sudden strikes. It violently attacks small, surface-dwelling insects. Distributed across a relatively wide range, subspecies of snagret suited to the varying soil conditions have emerged, making the snagret the most geographically represented species besides the bulborb. Visually resembling the burrowing snagret is the burrowing snarrow, the range of which partially overlaps with the snagret's range. While the two may appear similar, when pulled from the ground they can be distinguished by the presence or absence of tail and wing markings. It's interesting that they brought that up because, we see no snarrows in this game. Alright, let's check out the treasures. The sunseed berry. I found this fascinating fruit while out exploring today. The skies cleared up and I felt peaceful watching the pink flower petals flutter in the wind. During this perilous expedition, it seems strange to have such soft-hearted romantic thoughts. If I told my wife about this, I'm sure I'd get laughed at. Again. Aww. Olimar is a romantic at heart. Toxic toadstool. This dubious morsel doesn't look like it would be very agreeable with my innards. However, I bet Louis would try a bite. His appetite is insatiable, and he's always cooking up tasty meals. I'm glad that on this expedition, our ship's reactor can power our life support systems indefinitely. This will give us all the time we need to thoroughly examine all of the treasures we recover. I don't care if the president wants us to hurry. I've had enough of his hassling. I think I'll move more slowly just to cause him indigestion. Petrified hearts. The vivid color of this red stone reminds me of my wife's eyes when they burn with rage. Just between you and me, I've noticed lately that she's been getting more wrinkles. Now that I think about it, I've probably caused her a lot of stress. When I return to Hocotate, I'll take her on a long vacation. It's interesting to see all these insights into Olimar and his personal life and stuff. I have once again discovered a completely undocumented species of Pikmin. These white Pikmin can find and dig up items that are buried entirely underground. We never would have found this priceless treasure without them. Thankfully, it's the perfect stuff to patch a hole I just noticed in the ship's hull. P.S. I named the cave where I first encountered the white Pikmin the White Flower Garden. See, like I said, this one's very useful. Luck Wafer. What a strange pattern. When I look at it, I can feel good fortune smiling down on me. If I could just buy a lottery ticket right now, I'm sure I'd win. Strife Monolith. Computers view the world in ones and zeros, but my people are different. Our world isn't simply black or white, right or wrong. Everybody's different. Maybe one day the ship will understand that. And maybe one day it won't give me sass when I ask it to collect a slimy specimen. I don't think this treasure was even slimy at all, but it is funny that he said that. At night, I have nothing to do to keep me occupied. I've been searching for something to dull the boredom, but every time I find something I want to play with, it's broken. This object is a great example. It looks fascinating, but I can't get it to function. I guess all I have to do is write in this journal. It's too bad. That would be really... Can you imagine, like, going to an alien planet and finding alien video games? Cosmic Archive. The cave we searched today was lined with flame-spewing spouts. The temperature in the cave was absolutely stifling. Oh, that reminds me. I completely forgot to tell Louis about Red Pikmin. He's so quiet, I sometimes forget he's even there. This item I salvaged from the cave seems to be some kind of storage device, but I have no way to play back the contents. Not unless you find a Famicom down here. Stone of Glory. This is a peculiar object. Just looking at it fills me with a powerful sense of nostalgia. Now that I think about it, the Pikmin had a curious look on their faces when they carried it. Or maybe that was just my imagination. I think that's just a little bit meta. Survival ointment, excuse me. In a survival situation, the most important things are water, courage, and a first aid kit. I've got water and an endless supply of courage, but I don't have a first aid kit. Sometimes I don't have a whole lot of motivation either. I may be a daring explorer, but sometimes I just want to loaf around all day and sleep. Wait, what if the president reads this journal? I'd never dream of slacking on the job. Yeah. Not on my watch, Olimar. Alien billboard. There are several different patterns drawn on this object's surface. They appear to be characters or letters, but I can't make any sense of them. This is just an educated guess, but I wonder if this object is a kind of alien bulletin board? The size of the object seems about right for it. You're not entirely wrong. Prototype detector. That's right, the big treasures have stuff too. Today we searched a subterranean lair swarming with carnivorous bugs. The name Hole of Beasts immediately came to mind. The convenient contraption I found there has become an invaluable treasure-seeking tool. When it approaches a piece of treasure, the gadget beeps and the needle moves to the right. When all of the treasure in an area has been collected, the device powers down. When we left Hocotate, I thought we'd never be able to pay off the company's debt, but thanks to this gadget, I'm feeling optimistic about the outcome of this daring mission. Yeah, lucky for me, the only reason I can play this game is because most of the enemies are not super duper bug-like. Some of them are. Drought Ender. Today I delivered an impromptu lecture on the basics of wilderness survival. As Louis' superior, it's my responsibility to teach him these skills. Walking around as much as we do generates an intense thirst, so water becomes very important. I told Louis that we have to ration our water carefully. That's what I was thinking until I found this. I was so parched that I couldn't help myself. I drank all the water in the canteen. It tasted so good. But when I turned around, Louis gave me a cold stare. I've never read a lot of these. 5-man knapsack. I'd love to lay down in the grass, bask in the sun, and take an afternoon nap, but with all of these Pikmin following me, I can never seem to relax. I should remember to press X to dismiss the Pikmin and then hold X to take a nap. Last time I tried it, the Pikmin picked me up while I slept and carried me to their onion. Hold your space horses, Pikmin. I'm not a pellet or a piece of treasure. Then I woke up. Great galaxies. It was all just a dream, wasn't it? If you've seen the bad ending of Pikmin 1, I'll leave it there. And I believe that's it. So I will catch you guys in the next episode. Bye-bye.